In this very room where you're interviewing me, very often I pass by and there are families, 3 and 4 generations of the same family, seated around this table, handing over some of their family treasures to the museum, because they feel it's important for these artifacts from Alaska or California or the South or the Midwest to be part of a national collection. This isn't an easy subject by any means. Almost all of Europe's involved in slavery, almost all of Africa's involved in slavery, and most of those institutions in those countries aren't necessarily willing to describe or portray their role. Every country in this hemisphere had slavery, whether or not it's in the textbooks, in the national narrative, in the museums, is an issue we're testing everywhere. I meet someone from Chile, I said, is our story told in your national story? Or is it only the story of Europeans or only the story of indigenous people? And so we're working with a network of museums in Africa, the Museum Association of the Caribbean, working with Black museums in Canada, and we're working with museums across South and Central America who are trying to assure that the Afro-Bolivian, the Afro-Chilean, the Afro-Ecuadorian, the Afro-Colombian story is told. And people have to have the techniques, the skills, the knowledge base, the funding, the artifacts to be able to tell the story. I started working on this museum 11 years ago. And an Afro-Ecuadorian anthropologist learned that this museum was coming into being. And he brought us the stool that belonged to his grandmother and his mother. And they would put it in their canoes and row to a nearby village. This is in the Esmeralda district of Colombia and Ecuador, heavily Afro-Colombian, Afro-Ecuadorian region. And in the seat of the stool is carved a spider in his web. And that came along with the Anansi, the spider stories from West Africa. So when Juan Garcia Salazar brought us his mother and grandmother's stool, he told us the Anansi, the spider stories. And my director realized from that moment on that this wasn't a national museum, it was an international museum with international connections. And the first artifact was not from Mississippi, not from DC, not from New York, not from Philly, but from Ecuador. So this is what links us. This is what unites our stories. And this is what makes it a compelling story for the hemisphere and for the world. And to not use this as an opportunity to tell everyone, we would be remiss.